Hey, Prasad here, joining you with another wonderful book that I just came across. And this book is educational in nature, but a very rare book. The name of the book is Problems in Physics, and this is published by Mir Publishers, Russia. Okay, written by V. Zubov and V. Shalnov. This seems to be a pretty old book, but as usual, I mean, with all Russian books, they are pretty rare. Uh, they are sold at a significant premium. I too got this book pretty expensive. Of course, I am going to resell this book after I have gone through the book in detail. But this book seems to be printed in 1974. Um, Mir Publishers. So I'll read a few lines from the preface just to give you a glimpse of what this book is and also talk about a few topics that are covered in this book. Um so, for the most part, this is a collection of modified problems discussed in extracurricular circles and at tutorials and Olympiads at the Moscow University. In selecting and preparing the problems for this collection, the authors attempted to focus of the reader on the postulates and laws of physics where students make the most mistakes. Some problems were specifically selected to explain comprehensively the application of the most important laws, something which students often fail to grasp properly. A number of problems concern the subject usually omitted in secondary school book problems. Some problems are intended for discussion in extracurricular circles or for independent study by those wishing to acquaint themselves with material beyond the scope of the school syllabus. So, this typically is a book for school. Again, what was the dimensions or paradigm of education in 1974 then in Russia vis-a-vis the dimensions that we see today? There is a significant erosion in the way in which learning is happening, studies are happening, the school education is happening, so on and so forth. I think one of the I interact with the students. I interact with a lot of students actually, from undergrad to postgrad levels, professional and non-professionals as well. And one thing that I have noticed very vividly is that students are very shallow in their fundamentals. Their knowledge of basics, their understanding of application of basic concepts is very shallow. And that's why I come to a conclusion. I may be right or wrong, I don't know. But our education standards have deteriorated significantly in past 10, 15, maybe 20 years. And it has education has become more a business than a noble profession. Of course, there are great teachers, no doubt about that, even to date. Great institutions like the IITs and IIMs are providing quality education. Institutions like MIT in the US and Harvard and Oxford and places like that, they are creating great professionals for the future. But in general, I mean, when we look at the majority of the students that are passing out of their secondary schools and higher secondary education, and their entry into the graduation level, their knowledge has been very suboptimal. And that's why I feel that we need to do a paradigm shift in the way in which our education is happening. Actually, the government of the day across the globe, not just here in India or in Asia, but across the globe, needs to take cognizance of the fact that education standards have deteriorated over a period. There is no doubt there is a lot of development that has happened. There is great content that has got created. There is great technology that has got created. And of course, without education, good education, this may not be possible. Having said that, I mean, we also need to look at the other side of the coin. There are many who are without jobs just because of their lack of education or suboptimal education. Anyway, so let me just talk about a few contents here. These are more a problem and solution kind of a book. So this talks about mechanics, uh, rectilinear uniform motion, rectilinear uniform variable motion, curvilinear motion, rotational motion, dynamics of rectilinear motion of a point. There are topics on heat and molecular physics, thermal expansion of bodies, quantity of heat, heat exchange, the gas laws. There is a topic on electricity as well, Coulomb's law, electric field, field intensity. During my engineering, when I was studying industrial electronics as a part of my diploma course, these were same topics that I had studied, and it's quite nostalgic to go back. Of course, I am no longer an engineer. I'm more a finance guy than an engineering guy. But that brings good memories. Uh, Coulomb's law, electric field, Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Those were the topics, and in fact, I remember I had done a project on Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. I had prepared a electromagnetic crack detection machine using the same law. I had uh, created a crack detection machine with for 1000 amperes, if I remember correctly, 1000 amperes machine, where we used to pass electricity through steel or iron, um, and create a magnetic field and pour some powder on those rods, and automatically if there are cracks, there used to be a north and south pole that used to get created, and that powder used to go, and that was ferromagnetic powder, so that used to go and fit, and it used to radiate in ultraviolet lamps. So that was the project. Took some time for me to do that, but that was one of the best projects in our college at that point of time. So yeah, that was fun. Electric field in a dielectric. By the way, we had used SCR controlled mechanism, so a regulator kind of a thing, where I can move from 0 amperes to 1000 amperes and in any range, in that range, instead of a step mode of 0 giving a taps to the transformer. Instead of that, we use SCR to have a complete control over the current that was passing through. So yes, electricity is the topic, and then the fourth topic is on optics. So all in all, this seems to be a wonderful book, no doubt about that. I mean, all books by Mir Publications are the best. I have had the opportunity to read a few, and physics, mathematics, chemistry coming out of Mir Publications. I mean, at that point of time, 1970s, 60s, or right up to 80s, 90s also. Mir Publications was one of the best publishers, and the books were far more excellent than any other books, and the detailing that used to happen in those books was amazing. So this book again is a wonderful book. I would read this book and then put it on my store, www.bookspace.in, and let's see who grabs these books. um, is in plastic cover. I mean, I don't know if I can see any name who has read this book. So this book, it seems, has changed many hands, but still, despite, I can easily say that this book has passed at least 50 plus hands. I don't see any sign of library books. This doesn't seem to be from a library. This seems to be from a personal collection of someone, and yeah, amazing book. I'll go through this book. I mean, just to, I may not read this book in great detail, but I certainly would like to go back to my roots, when I used to do. I was a student of electronics, and that was real fun. It was a great enjoyment at that time. And today, when I'm a part finance guy, a part books guy, running this online store called Bookspace.in, it gives me immense pleasure when I come across books that bring memories back to the present, and yeah, it's great fun to be in books, enjoy books, see for those signs on those books which give some insights about the people who have read those books, how that book was well maintained, kept, any signs of um, usage, like using a pencil or a pen, or underlining the books, creating notes. Many a times we do find handwritten notes in those books. From that handwriting, we can just think about what kind of people were reading these books. I mean, of course, this were this would have been in the hands of intelligent people who value education, who value knowledge, and these people would be having a lot of wisdom into the practical life as well. Books give you a different perspective altogether, and it is indeed a great pleasure to be in books. Today, I mean, I can see around me, I'm completely covered with books. In this place where I'm sitting, we have almost 2.5 3 lakh books who are sitting across all the shelves, and every day I just keep taking out one book and just posting it on YouTube. Let's see. Thank you very much for watching this session, watching this, not a book review, but just an introduction to a wonderful book that I came across. I thought I'll just share it with you. There is a book called Problems in Physics. These books are now out of print, mind you. These books are not available in the market. If you happen to get one book, just grab it at whatever cost you can get it. These are rare books, vintage books, and carry a great amount of value, fundamental value. So, signing off. Thank you very much, guys. We'll come back next time with another wonderful book. Thank you.